In 2000, Act 228 made medical cannabis legal in Hawaii. Today, medical cannabis patients and their caregivers are still prosecuted by the state of Hawaii.
The chemists press the pills while the hippies in the hills plant the next generation, grow the next strain.
We are the hiccup in the system. We're not going to stand silent. We're going to fix this, and we're going to do whatever it takes to make these guys stop picking on medical cannabis users.
We've got those hippies in the hills and them doctors scripting pills down in the valley below. Grab your horse and your vaporizer. Come on, let's go.
As I brought up in previous testimony, Officer Leloy and I have a history from 2012. There was a conflict over how he searched my property multiple times without a warrant. I filed complaints and filed a harassment lawsuit against him over it. June 30th, 2015. He didn't sign Officer Bartz to this case until July 31st. So you'll notice this was over a month. Why did they wait? What happened in between? What happened was on July 18th, 2015, those new rules that they're now using, that they said that I'm breaking, took effect. So I think it's pretty obvious that Detective Leloy purposely waited a month for these new rules to take effect. I don't believe I was breaking these new rules, but one thing's for sure. Even though I talked to every agency out there and asked and requested assistance on how to do this, nobody ever sent me no new rules. They never once showed me any new rules. Once I finally saw them, I don't believe I'm breaking them, but the bottom line was we were following every order. We did everything we could to try to stay in compliance. I was being as transparent as I could, and maybe they can explain why we didn't get a cease and desist letter. I know this, when CBD was made legal nationally, and then later our state decided to put more restrictive laws on CBD, every business that was selling CBD got cease and desist letters. What happened to mine? Let's see, I sued him in 2012, and I believe his resentment towards me played a big part in why and how he started this investigation. It's yet another attempt at revenge. In one of the several compliance checks, we have a video of an officer specifically saying Leloy sent him. Government and by and through Leloy was out to get me, and I believe this is irrelevant to my entrapment defense. Bart said he called the prosecutor hotline to confirm the case. Leloy said he's not confused. He didn't ever call any prosecutor. As you can see, Officer Leloy kept referring to Bartz as the leader, when in fact he was. Officer Fontenot testified that Officer Leloy told him he would be the undercover agent. Leloy says Bartz brought him the YouTube video, but Bart denies that. Officer Leloy lied. The undercover report has been clearly changed, and the electronic signature reflects who changed it, Officer Leloy. The February 3rd, 2017 transcript shows that Officer Leloy said he didn't handle the evidence. Officer Leloy asserts he didn't do any medical permit check required for the search warrant and stated multiple times that Officer Bartz did. However, Officer Bartz testified that he didn't do any permit check and confirms Leloy did the check. Why is this relevant? While questioning the officers, you may have noticed that I brought up what was called rules and regs. I was referring to the Hawaii Police Department rules and regulations governing investigations involving the medical or religious use of marijuana. On page 4, 5B, search warrants. Before seeking a search warrant, officers shall check with the Department of Public Safety by name or location to determine whether the person under investigation has been issued a registry identification certificate. This is important because my house, the collective, which straddles 2 spaghetti lots that were associated with multiple valid medical cannabis cards, However, they reported only one property in their search warrant and are pointing fingers at each other as to who did it. This is because whoever did it purposely hid the 5 licenses associated with the other property to get a search warrant. Who actually did it? I have the June 30th Department of Health record showing it was in fact Leloy and not Bart's, and that Officer Leloy lied. And this was submitted as Exhibit A-Hex. When questioned about why his subordinate had only done a permit check for one property, Leloy testified because there were new rules and regulations at the time. However, there were not. Then he set me up. They started the case on June 22nd. Leloy did the check on June 30th. He didn't assign Officer Bartz or Fontenot until August 3rd. I think we went over that over a month. The rules have been in effect for 16 days when the undercover came to bust me. These rules are what the prosecutor and Detective Leloy are claiming I broke. As demonstrated earlier, I was constantly in communication with the Department of Health, about our collective, and constantly asking for input. If they believed I was violating these rules, why didn't they at least send me the new rules or a cease and desist notice?
Well, I might admit, I vaporize a bit of cannabis. I'm gonna go to Alaska, Maine, Massachusetts, Colorado. Grab your horse and your flask and your vaporizer. Come on, let's go. I've got those hippies in the hills and them doctors scripting pills down in the valley below. Grab your horse and your flask and your vaporizer. Come on, let's go.